Well, as we've been discussing, Louisiana Congressman from the 4th District there, Mike Johnson, has been elected the new Speaker of the House, earning the vote of every single Republican, 220 in all, including those who wouldn't vote for Jim Jordan and those who wouldn't vote for Tom Emmer either. Johnson has stayed relatively out of the public spotlight the last several years, but we do know about him. Seems to make this a win for true conservatism. He's got a long fight ahead of him, of course, to stick up for the America First agenda while serving under an America Last administration. Joining me now to discuss this is Bruce Lavelle. Bruce, good to have you here.
Yeah, thanks, Steve. Thanks for having me.
So what's your, look, Matt Gaetz took quite a gambit here. And it looks like it paid off in spades. I don't think we could have gotten more fortunate. A guy who has a principled conservative look at the world. And look, I was never a Kevin McCarthy fan. I didn't want somebody from California, but I'll take somebody from Louisiana who knows about family and faith and country, all of it, right?
Yeah. Well, he's got my vote. I lived in Texas. I have family in Louisiana. I hope he can bring some good old etouffee and boudin to the house. I'm a favor of that.
No, if he can bring boudin, he'll be my hero. Bring me some of that. Go on.
And, you know, he's an advocate of adoption. I'm an adopted child myself. I'm a survivor, as you might say it, from an orphanage. So one of his children he adopted looked like me. So there's a lot of things I can go down the list. And the fact that he started off with prayer to say, okay, let me just give all what's going on to God first, because this is who I am. So I'm very anxious to see, obviously how he's going to govern. I'm with you in terms of the quote nuclear family gavel as he carries, which, he doesn't really like carry it on his sleeve. He just walks through that gently. And I think, this is I like to say, like he said, this happened for a reason. So I'm going to be optimistic that he's going to govern, but also be very true to his word when he's, obviously making deals with other of his colleagues in the House. And I'm also curious to see where we can get some clarity on the House J6 tapes, some other issues like that the American people owe the real truth amongst many others. So we'll see.
Yeah, here's the thing. When you look at it, he has a mountain to climb here. But for some reason, he was put there. And do I believe in Providence? I do. Do I think we needed this person at this time? Possibly, because he was able to unite factions that, look, if you had asked me Friday, I didn't think you could bring these sides together, and he did. And they're ready to move forward because he brought the squishy middle to the hard right, and he got everybody on the same page. And I think that's remarkable.
Yeah. And, the other thing, too, Steve, I know for myself personally, and you could probably attest to this, some of the best appointments, some of the best things in leadership is when someone asked you. It's not like you were lobbying yourself or strategizing yourself to try to get a seat or play politics to be the chair and all this. I love the way these natural progressions work. It just happens, And so, because a lot of times when people are very anxious, as I call it, really thirsty, they say and do things in order to get their goal and not stay true to where they came in on that oath. So I'm with you on this and all the Real America voices. I'm going to stand with him and hopefully be very optimistic on him governing and just, really just doing right. Not a Republican thing, a Democrat thing, a middle of the road, just do the right common sense thing. That's all we're asking.
I want to ask you about doing the right thing. I want to focus on that for just a second, because there were a lot of rumors flying around about Kevin McCarthy meddling in the process. Kevin McCarthy sank Jim Jordan. Kevin McCarthy sank Tom Emmer. And Kevin McCarthy intended to sink Mike Johnson, except he wasn't able to because they made a rule change and they moved straight forward with a roll call vote, putting him at a disadvantage. And I confirmed that today. I spoke to Congressman Tom Tiffany of Wisconsin today. He said, yeah, that was going on. Come on, Kevin, clean up your act, go raise money, support America, would you please? I mean, that's my position. What do you say?
I say this, and I stand with it. This is why I'm a pivot over why I support President Trump. And Real America Voice viewers, I always said this. Well, they say, well, who do you get behind? Whether it's city council, state house seat, congressional seat, Senate seat, get behind the person that will not be engaged and owe favors to special interests and PACs and pay to play. there's no way on the earth that you can govern. So I'm happy to see this gentleman in here because I believe I'm kind of been watching his previous who's giving him money or who's driving him. And I think America needs, well, I know America needs this in our great republic, because it's for decades on both sides of the aisle, it's been immersed with favors of pay to play. And we have them in our higher Senate seats of well-known folks we know on the right as well as on the left. So I like the fact of someone coming in here that I feel, and I might be wrong, Steve, but I'm praying that he can't be compromised. He can't be like.
That's what I think.
That's my gut feeling.
When you stand on principle, and I encourage anybody watching right now, don't just hear the 7 core principles. He wrote about the 7 core principles. You can go back and find that. I encourage everyone today to go read who Mike Johnson is and what he stands for. And this is, like I said, not something new. This was written more than 5 years ago. He didn't bring this to the party because he's a newcomer or he's trying to win favor. It's who he is. It's what he believes. It's also nice to have somebody 51, a bit younger, in the seat than what we've had in recent years. I'll give you the last word, Bruce.
My last word, and all the viewers, and I've said this, I was down at West Palm last week with President Trump. This is the season, and everybody watch this. This is the season of what I call it the great exposure. And what does that mean? It means all the things that have been dealt with in the darkness of all this left and all this pay to play and all of it. If you notice how many things are coming to light, it's going to be uncomfortable. It's going to be bumpier even more. And you see what's going on, how they're trying to interfere with the election, trying to stop President Trump. And there's some others out there, and you're going to see what the left's going to do. And let's keep the new speaker in prayer, because they're going to come out with an onslaught of lies and all types of deceit. Of course they are. So get ready. Y'all get your prayer cloths ready. All my Christian, all my believers. How about that? And just stand.
Yeah, they're going to slime him.
Yeah, and
they're going to slime him every which way to Sunday, and you know that, Bruce. Everything they can do to smear him, discredit him, slime him, it's coming in buckets. But it's okay. He stands on principle and he stands on faith. Bruce, thank you for being here.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me.
All right. Coming up after the break, there's been a terrible shooting, as we discussed at the top of the program. I'm sure you know this. A mass shooting in the state of Maine. The hunt for the killer underway, massive manhunt. But he's military trained and a firearms instructor in the military. We'll have an update after the break.